Hello and welcome. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. I'd like to thank our sponsors at Procyon Partners. Procyon, one of the top 50 fastest growing companies in the nation. They specialize in employee benefits, wealth management, and retirement planning. President Sean Rabinowitz, proud supporter of our podcast network and everything we do. Green Street Trust International, owned and operated by Rennell Jump and UConn legendary men's basketball player Jake Voskuhl. They specialize in tax plans for businesses large or small. They will save you money or get you a big fat return on your taxes. To schedule your free strategic tax planning session today, go to www.greenstreettrust.com. Pete Finch and the Finch Law Firm is located in Bridgeport, Connecticut. If you've suffered any type of personal injury, slip and fall, car accident, your mother-in-law ran you over with her car, your wife got angry one night and decided to stab you, the Finch Firm is for you. Pete has won legal battles all across the state of Connecticut. He will go to war to get every dollar you deserve in compensation. You just have to remember, in a pinch, call Finch or go to his website, thefinchfirm.com. Dynamic Human Performance is owned and operated by UConn legendary running back Andre Dixon. He trains boys and girls of all ages, all sports. He has a boot camp program 7 days a week, 6 a.m. You want to get in shape, you go to Andre. He has an athletic development program where he trains boys and girls in the sport of their choice from the ground up, helps them reach their full potential, be the best they can possibly be. Andre has sent boys and girls to college on scholarship for all different types of sports. To work with the best, he has a 5,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility in Hartford, Connecticut. Go to www.dynamichumanperformance.com. All right, and here we are for the Trench Mob Show. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. And with me is always the commander-in-chief of the Trench Mob, Julius Williams. Julius?
My God, glad to be here.
Great to see you. And Jordan Harris, if he comes around, some big skipping. Coach Jordan, beating your dog.
What's going on? I'm having some technical difficulties on my side, so I'll be in and out most of the night.
Okay, that's okay. And very special guests, Mr. Sean Smith and the legendary talent already, Logan Smith. How you guys doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
Yeah, I love the website. LoganSmithFootball.com. That is offer. And congratulations for receiving your first Division I offer from the University of Maryland. That is amazing to hear, especially being that you are in the class of 2030. So they're incredible that they got it. They're getting on top of things fast. So Logan, tell me a little bit about your history. When did you start playing ball? Did you start when you were younger, or have you kind of started recently?
Well, I started playing football when I was a little bit younger, back 4 years ago during 9U football.
Oh, okay.
Started when I saw people on the TV playing football, and some of my friends were playing football, so I decided I would get into football and join it.
And when you first started playing, what position did you play?
I was really playing the same positions I'm playing now, offensive tackle and DN, but it really changed where I became a DN to a D tackle, and I don't really play offense anymore, but I still would if needed to.
Yeah. They like guys going one way now. And when did you start talking with the Trench Mob? How did you find Julius?
Well, It was through a friend because he started going to trench ball before me. He was a little bit younger than me, a year younger. And I really started going to him in 7th grade. That's when I first found out, first session. Julius, he took an impact. Coach Julius really took an impact on me. And after that day, I decided I was a part of trench ball family for life.
Yeah, he tends to do that to people. So I completely agree with you. What would you say the biggest difference is in kind of what you've learned most from being with the Trench Mob?
Well, I learned there's more aspects to the game of football except for like just putting your hands on someone and trying to get a tackle or a touchdown. I've learned there's more to it than just being a blocker or a defender. I learned it's way more than that.
Yeah, there is. And do you play other sports as well?
Yes, sir. I wrestle.
Oh, wow. That means you're a tough guy. I always like dudes that wrestle because there's nobody else out there to help you. And that means you are a badass. I like it. Because it says you weigh 6'1", 220. What weight class do you wrestle at?
I wrestle 250.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So is that considered heavyweight or just below heavyweight?
Heavyweight.
Wow. So how has wrestling been going? Because wrestling's really challenging. I mean, it's tough on your cardio. It's tough physically. You're on the mats. You're rolling around. I mean, it's really it's a team sport, but it's an individual sport within a team sport. So you really have to step up and do your own thing, and you're being challenged all the time, especially as a freshman. So I'm sure wrestling, how has your season been going?
It's been going good. I won first place in my weight class. We did fall short from the team trophy. Got 3rd place, but it was a good season overall. We only had 2 losses during the season.
And you love wrestling too? Is that one of your favorites as well?
Yes, sir.
So Mr. Sean Smith, sir,
Yes.
how would you say that you have enjoyed being involved, when your son started playing football? Were you cool with it, throwing him right in and letting him go at 9 years old? And did you have any hesitations?
Well, I always thought I played football, so I never wanted to ask him, did he want to play?
Right.
I figured that if he ever wanted to, he would come ask. And he asked me one day, could he play? And I'd never been part of any football here in Georgia, so I didn't know where to go. So I took him to, I think, Newton County Rec first. And when I was doing that, I met a guy that said, you need to take him to travel ball. It's tougher.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. So first team he joined was the Eastside Ravens. Coach Robert was his first coach. And I know the first day Logan went to practice, I told him it was going to be tough. Football is a tough sport.
Yeah.
And the first day he got in the truck, man, he was crying. And I was like, it's hard, ain't it? And you ain't even got busy yet. So I asked him, I said, do you want to come back? And he said, yeah, I want to come back. I said, okay, we'll come back. And I talked to Coach Scott. Coach Scott said, don't worry about it. He just started.
Yeah.
He'll get better.
Yeah, 9 years old.
And, Coach Scott said the next year he'll be even better. He was. 3rd year, he was even more better. And I think this year when he was in 12U, because I did worry about him. I'm a father. I know what
Of
football
course.
can do. So I always worried about him on that field. But they had a game against the Eagles. And I think that game, when I watched him go to another level that I've never seen him, I thought then, I said, okay, I don't have to worry as much anymore. He can handle himself. So it's been exciting to watch.
Yeah.
And a lot of times seeing the things that he can do when he put his mind to it.
Yeah, seeing that growth, I can completely understand. And I know it's your kid and the hesitation throwing him out there. And Logan, I can tell you my first practice when I was 9 years old, I came back crying. I didn't want to go back to practice the next day either. Everyone was loud and cheering and hitting each other. I was like, I don't want to do this. It's awful. So I completely understand when you get thrown into the fire sometimes it is challenging because you don't know what to expect. But it's good that you were brave and tough enough to come back for more, and clearly you have developed into something. Mr. Smith, what position did you play in football?
I was a fullback.
Oh, wow. So you were a tough guy.
Yeah, I never played defense. Never.
Right. No, you were blocking the defenders, knocking them on their ass.
Well, I think in high school I accounted for 68% of our offense.
So they gave you the ball a lot too. Yeah,
I was I think I ended my senior year with 982 yards rushing, and I missed a game.
Was it like a wing T or wishbone triple option?
No, it was split backfield.
Wow.
Tailback, we went to I.
Wow. And I mean, would you say that you loved football too as much when you started and progressing all the way through?
Well, like I told Logan, I started football, I think in 7th grade.
So a little bit later.
7th grade. And I didn't know my left to right. And they didn't, I was fidgety, I was, timid, and they put me on the line, and I never knew which way to go, which way to block. And it wasn't until my freshman year that they put me in the backfield as a fullback. And that's what I was built to do.
Yeah, you took off from there. Jeez. Yeah. And you were a productive fullback offensively, running the ball, which is, nowadays that's very unusual. They're basically just blocking backs. They very rarely get handoffs. So you were pretty dynamic. Did you catch the ball too? They throw to you?
No, they didn't throw. I could catch, but they didn't throw to me because I ran. Yeah,
that's awesome when you have two backs in there that are skilled enough to run. So Logan, you've been doing this now, and you've kind of found your niche as a defensive end, an edge guy. You really like it out there. You've had production out there, and it's only going to get better from here. So you're wrestling at 250. What would you say your goals are for next season going into it?
Well, I would say my goals for next season for the high school I'm going to is going to be a hard challenge to get to varsity. So I would say my next season goals are to get a lot stronger and be able to hang with all the seniors and juniors and be able to play some varsity and get some varsity snaps.
What high school are you going to?
Well, I would say it's either between Grayson or Buford.
And those are two exceptional ones, as I've heard from working with these guys. So two good choices. Julius, tell me a little bit about finding Logan and your relationship building with him.
Sure. So I first heard about Logan from a guy named Coach E, man, who coached over at Tucker.
It wasn't Hakeem Kashama.
No, it wasn't Hakeem. No. So Coach E calls me, and he's like, "Bro, I got this kid. I got to get your hands on him, too. He already like that, but I know once you get your hands on him, he gonna be out of this world." So I was already training a few of his kids, and I know Logan was good friends with a kid, BJ, who I think he's referring to, who I was already training, and he came out, man, and I just, from day one, I could just tell that he was different. Most kids his age, that are 6th graders, 7th graders, they're there because their parents want them to be there. Let's be honest. And for me, I can tell that he had a genuine interest in wanting to learn the game, wanting to get better. And for me, I'm an unorthodox style of trainer. Like, I don't do all of the Instagram and, the TikTok fast drills where you look great and, you're getting a bunch of likes. I teach intricate details that help you learn the game and apply, So for me, our first couple sessions, it was a lot of information that I wanted to teach him before he really got moving. And the thing about Logan is he really began to thrive, right away. And he didn't actually come out to trench mob right away. We started out doing one-on-one sessions,
Right.
to where, I can, and I love that because I could groom him without pressure. At trench mob, any given Sunday, we could have, 15 to 20 D linemen out there. So it's hard to get
Individually.
through, to 20 people, right? Yeah. But, when you got one guy or two guys, you can kind of take your time and groom those guys. And I think Logan really, really benefited from that, from not so much me training, but just the repetition and of the language, the knowledge, the hand placement, the hip placement, the feet, the hands all working together. And once he began to start coming to trench mob, he earned his respect right away because within his first couple times, he would beat up on middle school kids real bad, and he was like, you know what, he don't belong, going against middle school kids. So I'll never forget, we put him up against a senior offensive guard, that was at Duluth. And he beat this senior like a drum. And he was only in the 7th grade, I believe, or a rising 7th grader, as a matter of fact, I believe. And from then, I'm like, oh, yeah, this kid going to be special. Because the senior he beat was a starter on his varsity football team. So we knew right away, man, that Logan, was going to be special for sure.
Logan, I mean, talk about working with Julius as well. I mean, because that had to have been a different experience for you, having a personal coach working with you on football techniques and kind of talking you through the intricacies of the process, because he does things a lot differently than other coaches. He focuses, because the truth is the devil is in the details. And he makes sure that every little detail is correct. And that's why he takes his time. You're like a piece of clay. He's just molding you.
Well, I will say yes, that's very true. Coach Julius, he was a very good help, and he's got me to where I am right now. And then one-on-one sessions on late nights, they were very helpful because now I'm able to dominate and be where I am right now.
So you feel it made that much of a difference once you started working together, and this past year is proof of that. Like, you were able to come out and you felt head and shoulders above the rest.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith, what about you? What would you say? I mean, did you notice a distinct change in how Logan was playing after working with Julius?
Oh, yeah. That year he played in Tucker when we were introduced to Coach Julius. From that point to when he went to working with Coach Julius and his 12U year, that following year, totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different. I mean, this year he played middle school and travel.
Yeah.
And
which is how you got to do it nowadays. Yeah.
Every middle school game he played, the coaches would not run his way. And they literally, his coach, the Conyers coach, called him, they hit Davis coach and said, wherever you put 55, I'm going the other way. I just want you to know that right now. So you might as well don't even have him on the field because we're not running to him. And literally, if you watch the tape, they don't run to him. And in travel ball, which I thought was a little tougher than the middle school, in my eyes, You had some teams that, they would feel brave enough to run his way, but he would soon stop that. So, and he was like, the talk of 12U. He was the talk of middle school. And that's directly comes from that time spent with Coach Julius, because he understood leverage. He understood, how to move his hips and his hands and how to throw a kid away when he wanted to. And and he got stronger.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that with Coach Julius teaching them how to play the 3-tech, and you're not just out there like a lot of kids are. He actually knew how to play it.
And Julius, this is a good lesson for people to understand why it's important to get people involved working with you, getting people involved working with the trench mob as early as possible, because you can teach them from the ground up as opposed to having to go back and maybe break some bad habits, make corrections, make changes. It's a lot tougher to do that than when you get a kid who's just starting and you can teach them the right way from the start.
Right, for sure. The thing that I pride myself on is there's a lot better trainers than me. I'll be honest, I feel. And when I say trainer, when I see a trainer is a guy that can come up with creative drills,
anyone can come up
and
with
make
that
them
happy
look,
shit.
and make them look good for Instagram and Twitter, and get lots of likes and do cool stuff. For me, I don't believe, and this may sound cocky, but I don't believe I know a better developer than myself. Because the thing is, if you line me up to the next trainer, he can show you lots of kids that he worked with or she worked with, that are now All-Americans and this and that and this and that. But most of those kids were already like that when they got there. They were already major talents and already had offers and already were the talk of the most trainers search out for guys that are already known because they want to grow themselves. Like, I'm a guy, I pride myself on finding kids that don't know much. And there's not a trainer out here that can show you more kids than I can that came to me with zero offers, with not much attention, with, and I'm not saying this is Logan because Logan was already a good player, but I get lots of guys that come to me with 2 left hands and 2 right feet, like Suki said last week, and I'm able to groom these kids and make them football players, and the thing about Logan is he was already a big, strong kid, and his game before I laid hands on him was brute strength, coming off and just muscling people. So now he is able to play with a flat back and long arms. He does understand where to put his hands in the correct hand placement, post hand, escape hand. He understands how to hip the gap, how to pull and be handsy the way he needs to be handsy to control offensive linemen. And the game is much easier that way than just going out there and trying to muscle everybody, because truth of the matter is you're not always going to be the strongest guy out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're going to run into guys that are going to be 6'5" in high school, 6'6", 6'7", 300 pounds that bench press 400 plus pounds, but you can do the same thing to them as you can do to the other guys because of technique and understanding. And I pride myself on that. And the guys that we train, we got lots of guys, man. Like, I mention all the time, we got lots of guys that had 0 sacks last year that had double-digit sacks this year. And it's not because I'm such a great trainer, but it's just I help those guys understand the intricacies of the game. And a lot of guys that come from other trainers, they say, when I was training with that guy, all he did was yell at me and told me to go fast. But he never taught me why or how or what to go fast around. You're like, Coach Julius, I like your training because you're teaching us the intricate details of the who, what, when, how, opposed to just lining you up and doing a fast drill and saying go fast or get out my drill.
Right. Yeah. It's about teaching. It's about coaching. It's about making them understand exactly what you're trying to tell them what to do. And once they have that understanding, like you said, their game completely evolves into something really special. So that is definitely the path that Logan's on. So Logan, we're going to show some of your film right now.
Okay.
We'll start with the shorter one.
Shout out Coach Jordan, man. I think Coach Jordan, I know he can't be on tonight for whatever reason. I think he was having some bad issues with his service. But like Coach Jordan as well has been there, man. And I think him learning so much from Coach Jordan on the offensive side of the ball at offensive tackle has also helped his defensive game. You know, and just rubbing off from Coach Jordan's energy. Everybody knows Coach Jordan's crazy as hell. So, you know, of him just, you know, being out there for all the guys, like, you know, and rubbing off and giving those guys their energy.
Wow, absolutely. Wow.
In the line of
So
scrimmage.
what level is this?
That was
So he's in middle school, Cully. He's in eighth grade.
Right. This is 8th grade football right here.
8th grade, yep.
You gotta be shitting me. Oh my god.
He's there in tackle now.
Yeah, I see that. Jesus. This is 8th grade?
Yeah.
God damn. Yeah. Yep, that's why George is definitely the best. I would not think this is 8th grade.
Yeah.
Oh, nice move there. Nice job on the swim. I like that. All right, we'll go to your next
That was
film.
the Georgia 5 All-Star game.
Oh, okay. Even better. All right. We will get your next film up.
And that was a game you just got the offer after, right?
Right.
Yep.
Oh,
So he got an offer from Maryland, man. So I called, you know, so Cully, when you see 8th graders get offers, the first thing you think is, let me go verify it, you know, because there's a lot of people out here that, you know, are wanting to get into these guys, you know, favor and trying to get close to them when they know they're good players. So the first thing I called was call one of my guys that was a trusted source from the University of Maryland, a guy named Coach Mercy, and he's the one that actually called and offered Logan. You know, he's like, man, that kid is a stud. You know, he's like, man, he like, man, you know, we definitely want him, and he's high he's high rated to us, and we hope he comes here. So, you know, shout out to Logan, man, for going out there and, you know, and doing what it takes to get noticed.
Absolutely. Run at him.
Now, this is when they were down in Naples going for the national.
Oh, okay.
The 8th grade national title.
Wow. I didn't even know they did that. Okay.
He playing. These are all, and the thing is, these last two clips, Cully, he's playing against all the other top 8th graders in Georgia and all around the country. So this is not just your average 8th grade guys that just lined up and came out to play on a Saturday. These are like the all-stars.
Yeah, that's the best of the best.
That's the best.
How long did they practice for together? They practiced for like a week or?
How long was that practice? It was almost a month because we played 3 regional games, 2 regional games. Then we made it to Naples and they played 3.
I'm sorry. This is your middle school team that played in Naples.
No, this is the all-star team.
Oh, the all-star team. Okay.
It's Football University, FBU.
Yeah, FBU.
I got you. Okay.
And I think we played New Hampshire. What was that, New Hampshire? That game was against New Hampshire. Massachusetts.
Oh, that probably was ugly. We had bad football in Massachusetts. Jeez. I mean, really good with your hands, really good getting off blocks, really good with the leverage. technique. I love the separation. Just mixing things up. Look at the athleticism and speed.
He's just getting started, Steve. Like he's the first middle school kid we've ever had on the show. So,
well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, because he's not even someone you can take on the road with you, right?
No, so he's coming. So he's going.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's going to the tournament this weekend. The Arizona's hosting. So and he'll get some reps with varsity. I mean,
that's awesome.
I may throw him out there a little bit with middle school kids because I know on the 210th team, they always got some really good middle school players as well. I know they have a guy up there that also has an offer in the 8th grade. So I'm excited to match him up against Logan, and let them battle. But I plan on giving Logan lots of varsity reps because I told Logan, he's not the same Logan that he was 2 weeks ago. I mean, you got a Big Ten offer now. So, the expectations for you have heightened tremendously.
Absolutely.
So, you got something that 10th graders, 11th graders, and even seniors don't have. You got seniors right now that are still hoping something comes through, and it's March. You know what I mean? So now I was telling Logan, man, you got to be careful because now everybody's envious of you, and people are not going to look at you the same, and you have to carry yourself in a different light than you carried yourself a month ago. Now you're no longer just Logan Smith, a good football player. You're Logan Smith, the 8th grader with a Big Ten offer.
You got
something, and he's going to get more. He's going to go out here this weekend, and he's going to ball, and he's going to do the things that we've worked on for the past couple of years, and he's going to torch high schoolers, and more offers are going to come. And it's going to be more envy and more hate and more people, who want to get next to him. So now I'm just excited for the ride, Steve. I'm just the old man that, has been out here, teaching these young guys, and it's a beautiful thing, man.
It is exciting.
When the fruits of your labor pay off, because I train lots of guys, and I got guys that I've trained for 2-3 years, that never really pan out. So to get a guy, I don't got lots of guys like that. I'll take that back. Most of the guys we work with, they pan out. But you know what I'm saying. You get kids that you work
you put
with,
the time and effort
and they
in.
never quite get it, But to see Logan, get it so early to the point where he gets offered by the University of Maryland, and I call one of my colleagues that works there. He's like, man, that kid's a stud. I mean, it's just when I first saw it, I was driving in my car, man. I almost ran into somebody. You know what I mean? Because I was just so excited, to see him get offered. I felt like I got offered, or my son got offered. You know what I mean? So, I'm just so excited for him, man. I mean, sky is truly the limit. Like he's just getting started. He's a baby dinosaur right now. He's going to be, so destructive and violent in high school, man. So, I mean, get your popcorn ready. And so what I want to tell people, I mean, hey, you have not seen the last of Logan Smith. As a matter of fact, you haven't even seen the beginning yet because he's just getting started.
Yeah, Logan, what I would tell you is this is just the tip of the iceberg. You are going to continue to improve. If you've improved this much just in 1 year of working with Julius, now working with the Trench Mob, I mean, imagine 3 more years of this, how much you will continue to get better. So this is really exciting, and I am sure we're going to be watching a lot more of you. I'm sure we'll have you on again. Mr. Smith, thank you so much.
Hey, Steve, show his website, man. Show his website off if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and shout out
Smith.com.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out his mother and father. And his father is the one that I have a much deeper relationship with. And I'm not just saying this because Sean is here. You got most middle school parents, they don't think it's necessary to get your son trained. They don't think it's necessary to spend the money and the time and the hours driving on the road, the money in gas, the sacrifice you take away from your wife or your other, he has another, he has siblings, you know what I mean? And, and just making those sacrifices. And Sean has did that, man. He's did everything he could to put Logan around the right people, and keep him focused. And because he believed in that, that's the reason his son has a Big Ten offer in the 8th grade, because had he not done that, his son would not have that. His son would not be the player that he is. I mean, sure, he blessed him with natural talent and ability and size and strength, but strength without structure, without coming to somebody like me and Coach Jordan, without he does weight training as well with a guy, Coach Diesel, and without taking that time to invest in your son, he will not be that. And Logan, you need to remember that, man. When you get that big old contract, man, you got to make sure you take care of mom and dad, man. Because without mom and dad, you wouldn't be Logan Smith right now that everybody knows is envious of and has a Maryland offer in 8th grade.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's the sacrifice. It's the investment that they put in you because they believe in you. And, your dad's been there before. Your dad knows exactly what it takes. And he put the work in because he knows that you have the talent to succeed. And not a lot of 8th graders are getting offers from Big Ten schools.
And Cully, I'll tell you something, the truth. That we in Georgia, there's lots of 8th graders with talent. There's 8th graders out here with just as much talent as Logan, but they're just not consistent. Logan has peers that have just as much talent as he has, but you don't see them as much. Their parents don't think it's important to be consistent.
Right.
And he's just a kid. If I had $1 for every time I hear, well, I know he's young, he has more years. No, you don't. Because now, it's prevalent to be important and known in 8th grade because at the NIL stage, NIL football right now, they're not even looking at high school kids anymore. So the kids that get the notoriety early and get known early, that carries over into high school, and it's like a plane that takes off and keeps soaring. And the kids that are not doing what it takes at this early stage to get known, and don't blossom until late, it's too late. I mean, we got a few kids right now that are hellified players that are seniors, but they waited too long to take it serious. And now, they're suffering because of that, because all the guys that got offered in 9th grade and 10th grade have already taken those spots.
Yeah, it's a whole new world right now with NIL, with the transfer portal, and unfortunately, it's limiting the offers that go out to those high school kids. So it's amazing that you got a Big Ten offer in 8th grade. And the website is phenomenal. It keeps everyone up to date. Everyone knows where to go to get news about you. And I think your father did a phenomenal job with it. And it's exactly what college coaches are going to it's going to drive a lot of traffic to the college.
Makes you look
coaches.
Serious, man. Makes you look like, hey, man, I'm serious about this. You know what I mean?
It makes you look absolutely legit.
It's like a business owner. Somebody say, hey, well, what's your website? Oh, you got a website. They're not going to take you serious. You know, he's not serious about his business. He don't got a website.
Page. It's not what your huddle page. It's what your website.
Right, exactly. You tell the coach, hey, coach, here's my card to my website. They look at you a whole different, in a whole different light,
But Logan, congratulations on everything. Mr. Smith, congratulations. Thank you so much for coming on. I wish you guys the best. And as I said, I look forward to watching your progression. And I'm sure we'll have you on again and you'll have about 15 more offers.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you guys. You take care.
I take it easy, fellas. Appreciate y'all coming on.
All right, Coach. Thanks.
Sure.
All right. What a talent.
Oh, yeah, man. Great kid, man. Great kid, great family. Dad's awesome, mom's awesome. Definitely, man.
Everything that you would look for. All right. And here is our sponsor. Down south, we have Julius Williams, Jordan Harris, and the rest of the team of the Trench Mob. They train offensive and defensive linemen. They compete in 5v5 tournaments and college showcase camps all across the country. They have sent kids to schools like Florida, Florida State, Miami, Clemson, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, just to name a few. They have sent the highest percentage of kids who work with them to Division I schools on scholarship. To work with the best, go to trenchmobfootball.com. Ned Von Young runs the Fresh Fold Laundry Company in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, a high-end laundry service. You book online, put your laundry out in a clear plastic bag. They pick it up, wash, dry, and fold it for you in 48 hours. They also offer an expedited service if you need that as well. They have an online subscription model, weekly or bi-weekly, where you can get your laundry done that way. They offer deals for college students. So if you want your laundry done, you can do it in your own dorm. They have a pickup and now a delivery service. So you can have your laundry done without leaving the comfort of your own home or dorm room. To sign up, go to their website, my-freshfold.com. All right, Julius, we got a lot of guys to get through, a lot of talent to watch. Let's see. Do you want to put the X-Man on?
Yeah, man. Go ahead and put it. We call him Professor X. You know,
from the X-Men. Okay.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, man. He the X-Man was his name last year. This year he upgraded to Professor X.
Professor X.
You know? And the thing I want to say about him, Cully, before we get started with his film, I believe, and I'm not crazy, I believe that Xzavier Pfister is a top 5 pass rusher in this entire country. And the reason I wanted to show him tonight, he's already came on the show before. I'm not sure if you remember him.
Yeah, he came on with United.
He in United Baltimore. But I just feel wholeheartedly in my heart that X is super underrated, like disrespectfully underrated.
Absolutely.
And, and I just wanted to highlight him tonight. You know, I've been talking to different coaches about him. I mean, this kid is everything you would want in an edge player. You know, he's strong at the point of attack. He has great hips, great hands. You know, he's a dog. And I just feel like people need to put more respect on Professor X, man. He's the best pass rusher on Trench Mob's team, you know, and, you know, he's a guy, man, that just needs to be highlighted more. And for whatever reason, I've talked to certain coaches, and I know they want him to, you know, work a little bit harder in the weight room and, you know, and kind of, you know, be a little bit more muscular. But a football player is a football player, man. And this is what this guy is. You know, he's a dog. Like, he had double-digit sacks last year. You know what I mean? Like, put some respect on his name. You know, I think he's a top 5 defensive end in the nation to me. He'll be down what nobody say.
I think he is very impressive. I mean, he's
got long arms. You see how
he, you know, lean and explosive. Yeah, 100%.
6'3", 240, a dog. You know, and put some respect on my dog name.
Absolutely, and that's why I think. Has he been on the road with you?
Yeah, he has. I mean, X, you know, he's been with us for the last few years, man.
I know that.
He actually won Defensive Player of the Year for us last year. And he does everything you ask, man. I mean, you know, he needed to gain weight, he gained it. You know, he needed to work on his hands, he worked on it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he's one of those guys, man. And, you know, I feel like X should have lots of ACC offers, lots of Big Ten offers.
Great job.
You know, and he has offers. You know, people are noticing him, but I just think he's disrespectfully underrated. you know, and he doesn't. When you see him, he doesn't look like Tarzan, and I think that's a big thing. I talked to an SEC coach about him.
I know.
And he's like, I just wish he just looked his body looked a little bit better. But that's the bullshit that people are doing now, man, with college football. They're just trying to find reasons why they shouldn't give guys money.
They look for reasons to ding you.
Bro, this kid is a ball player, man. Like, there's not many football players. Look at the movie. Look at the Snatch movie he just did. Like, there's not many.
I've watched him do a one-arm stab. I've watched him do a push-pull rip. I've watched him swim. I mean, he does everything that you ask him to do. His recognition of the pass set is phenomenal right there. I mean, boxing the counter, coming off the pulling guard and making the tackle, that's impressive.
Man, he's one of the best players in one of the best in the best football state in the country. I feel like if he were at a school like Grayson or Buford or even Gainesville, it would be a different story. But he's at Brookwood, and Brookwood is kind of like it's a good school, but it's not really a powerhouse, So I feel like he doesn't get as much respect as he deserves because he's not at a powerhouse. But man, oh man, can this kid play, man? This kid, there's not a defensive end in the country that I would take over this kid if I had to choose for a one-on-one battle. If I could pick anybody in the country, any of these kids that I've seen on the road, for these first two tournaments, I have not seen a better edge player than Xzavier Pfister. And we got some more great edge players that play with us. CJ from Minnesota, we got Percy, we got other guys. G is coming along great. He's another guy that you guys are going to see, coming along.
He comes out of a 2, he comes out of a 3. His hustle,
man. Dog. It's just not like, hey man, put the tape on and show me somebody better. I would challenge everybody around the country, like all these people who claim to be experts, hey, watch the tape. Watch the tape. It's not about, he doesn't look like Tarzan right now. He doesn't have muscles popping out the side of his neck and look like he's a damn Olympic weightlifter. But if you want a dog, somebody that's going to produce, somebody that's going to go out there and make plays and play in the backfield and have fun doing it, don't look any further than Xzavier Pfister. And United Baltimore as well, from the same school, man. Those are those two kids right there, bro. I'm taking with me anywhere. All of our guys, but those two in particular, man, they're special to me. You know what I mean? Because those guys have been working with me for a long time, and they've really bought in. And Unitas is our captain of our defense. And X, he's like a captain as well. But I really wanted to highlight him tonight because I just feel like not enough people respect this young man, and he deserves it. He's a dog. I think he's the best defensive end in Georgia.
Absolutely. You can't teach heart, you can't teach effort, you can't teach attitude. And he's got all that plus the technique that you're looking for.
And he can play inside as well. He's the guy.
Yeah.
You can put him at 5 technique. You can put him at 3 technique. Hell, he'll play 2-eye. Even 1 if you ask him to. He's that type of guy. He never complains. I'll ask X to play nose. He'll go to nose and get jiggy. You know what I mean? So that's my guy, man. And I just wanted to highlight him. I didn't even bring anybody else to show tonight. I wanted it to be all about him from my end.
I hear you. No, I mean he's incredible, and he's someone that coaches are absolutely missing out on. How they look in with their shirt off isn't always important. Come on, the kid's film speaks for itself.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. It's just coaches, they're looking stupid shit, man. He's like, I talked to an SEC coach. He's like, man, I just wish his body looked better. Man, that's some dumb shit.
I mean, yeah. Well, watch his film. That's right. I mean, that's what it used to be. The film doesn't lie.
Right.
So this is Dashawn Williams. This was one of Coach Jordan's guys. I'm just trying to double check. Okay, he's from Maryland, Oxon Hill, Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
asked Jamal about him just to see. So these are his junior highlights. It's criminal now how it's younger and younger for recruiting.
Yeah.
You know, they're taking less and less freshmen, and they're getting offered younger and younger. Whereas, like you said, I mean, junior film, senior film sometimes becomes irrelevant.
It's too late. You know what I mean? Like it's almost to the point, like, you know, unless you just come out and do something astronomical, or you go to like a school where they just know that's loaded with tons of talent, and you just have to play late, you know, or you just got great size and athleticism, you know, it's hard.
Jesus.
He's a good player.
This kid is a mauler. Wow. Just the physicality of him.
Wait,
you know,
rough and rugged.
He looks like he plays some guard and tackle.
Nice.
I like the smooth R&B music too.
You see him?
Jesus Christmas. He's got an ass the size of China on him.
Yeah, come on.
Big, thick kid.
Putting people on the ground, man.
Oh, yeah, he's moving people. He's a true road grader.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this film's excellent. Now, as far as you know, I mean, I'm sure you or Coach Jordan's communicated with him. Has he done any 5v5? Has he been on the road with anyone?
So I can't say I know the kid, Steve. I mean, I communicate with lots of kids.
Yeah, I know.
But I can't remember remotely having a conversation with this guy. But he's definitely a good player, man. And I mean, if he's watching, you know, I mean, there's a 5v5 tournament in Pittsburgh, so not too far from Maryland this weekend, man. So
yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
You know, we'd love to have him wearing black and green. I'll tell you that much.
The only thing I would say from his film, just try to show a little more pass blocking.
Right.
Because he can run block.
Yeah.
His run blocking is exceptional. He does good on his combo blocks, just like he did there. He did a nice job pulling. I think that would be the only missing piece they would want to see a little more pass pro, because he's Deboing kids left and right.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Jeez.
He's a good player, man. He's rough and rugged. Rough and rugged.
He is for sure. Wow. I like him, and he definitely should be getting offered. I know that man, they just want perfection these days, especially with their size and the look. It's way too important.
Yeah, man, and it's just important, man, to get intertwined with the right people, because lots of guys,
you have to.
You know, like I talked to my guy Terrence Knighton earlier from Florida State, right? And and it's like, you know, I mean, I send him kids, and most of the kids I send him, he offers them because he believes in me, you know, as his buddy that he's known for 20 years.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? So it's like, that's why it's important to get in line with guys like with organizations like Trench Mob, because we have the trust to reach out to coaches and say, look, this is a guy you want to look at, because it's just so hard these days. And then something came out a couple of weeks ago, man, about high school players using AI in their film, you know?
Really?
So, yeah, man. I'm using AI to enhance the
right.
speed and, you know, and their highlights.
AI.
Yeah.
AI on their film.
Yeah.
To enhance it.
Yeah, man. It's like, you know, it's just the trust factor these days, man, especially with high school kids, and you don't know who these guys are playing against. I mean, they could be playing against some slap from, you know, whatever town that's just not that good, and they just look a lot better than what they really are, you know, so you have to have trusted sources. I mean, you know, if I ever get into college football, that's definitely what I would do. Like, I wouldn't just recruit kids, but like, I would say, hey, who knows this kid? Okay, is he really like people say he is? Because on his film, he looks great. but he may be playing against a guy that cares nothing about football who doesn't even lift weights. So
No, I agree with you.
that's why they want to see you in person, man. They want you to come to camp these days and get to campus so they can see you in person.
Yes, it's completely like you said. They recruit backwards.
And most coaches are not doing it, Steve. Like most coaches are not going to spend their own money to take you to campus. Camps.
Nope.
So you just don't get recruited.
So this is Noah Brainard from Benedictine High School in Savannah, Georgia. This was Coach Jordan's guy.
Okay, and there were some dogs in Savannah.
Absolutely.
Down that water. Savannah's a beautiful city, man. You know, if you've never been to Savannah, Steve, you definitely put that on your bucket list, man. It's a beautiful place.
Sure. I like Savannah. Yeah, he comes off the ball. He looks fairly athletic.
I can't see that guy for some reason.
Okay, sorry. Can you see it now?
No, it's still on the last guy. It's frozen.
Okay, hold on. Let me try.
It's rare that you find somebody offensive line that shows a lot of pass. Not a lot of high schools pass the ball as much. You know, you got to have it seems like a deeply rooted offensive coordinator that really likes to pass the ball to see that. You know,
You see this now?
Every round, it's still showing the last tape for some reason.
Oh, okay. Two films. Okay, hold on. It has to be. Oh, that's the wrong one. All right.
How's the weather coming along up there, man? In the springtime, man. Is it starting to lighten up?
It's fucking awful. All right, so this should be the right one.
Yeah, it looks like it's different. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, he's a big fucker.
Yeah.
See that? How big is he?
I believe he's 6'3".
Okay, I know. Okay, he looks a lot bigger. He's moving too. Look at him.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I thought he was physical. I thought he was athletic, really good on his feet.
Nasty. Okay, I love the way he came off then. All right.
Yeah, he comes off low, shuts over his knees. He's got good hand placement.
Okay, nasty. Check him out.
Yeah. So this is Savannah. Great job there. Jeez. He is, wow.
He's definitely violent.
Have you had any contact with him, or is it Coach Jordan has?
Yeah, it had to be Coach Jordan. I haven't spoken to him. I don't believe I have. I don't remember him.
Jeez, he is a big dude.
Yeah, he's big and violent. And he has good hips. Check that out. Check that seal block just did.
Yep, he's flexible, looking for work like that.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, violent.
Exactly what you look for. Great job pulling. Getting around the edge.
Yeah.
Nice job. Do you know, you wouldn't know what level this is. Wow. I mean, he's got really good athleticism.
Yeah, he can play. He can play.
Be
Now, I
able
don't
to
know what
pull around
level
the
it
edge.
is, to be honest, but I know Savannah has some pretty good football.
Yeah,
You know?
he does a nice job pulling. Nice job at the point of attack.
Oh yeah, you know, he's violent, man. He got violent hips, violent hands and hips. You know, he check him out. Wow,
I
there you
love it.
go.
There's
Yeah.
nobody on him. He's looking for someone to drill.
Oh yeah, he ain't just chilling, right? He ain't taking no plays off. You know what I mean? He looking for some action.
Okay, so he does. That's a good job at tackle. Good job on the cutoff block.
Oh yeah,
It's really good, and that's exactly what you need to show.
yeah.
He's showing everything that he can do. Good job on the cutoff there. Reach blocking.
I wonder what he's looking like recruiting wise, man, because you know he can play, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. I got it in the notes. I'll check. I mean, he can play both guard and tackle. I just don't. I got to see how tall he is. I thought it said it was 6'3", but he's a very good guard. He's athletic enough to play tackle for sure.
Right.
But the way that he pulls,
He's rolling,
excellent.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Like a train.
well, yeah, and he is consistent with his stance too, which I like.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't give it away. I'd like to see, yeah. Good knee bend.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's tough right there. To be able to pull like that on the move. I mean, they're running the way they run their offense. They depend on him quite a bit for pulling.
Oh yeah, he's fast too, but he's running. I wonder what he runs in the 40.
He
He's
gets
quick.
his speed going. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Good job pass blocking.
He probably has a real nice short shuttle, you know, because he's quick.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh
He
yeah.
can
Yeah.
point A to point B.
5-10-5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's aggressive, you know. I feel like most offensive linemen, high school offensive linemen, are passive. You know, they're kind of catching, lots of catching. You know,
They are.
You know, he's striking. You know,
They are. He is definitely the aggressor. I mean, he's got a lot of good tools. I believe it said he was a junior too. But wow. Good job. Get your head out of it. Nice. He's got a good strong punch. He's good with his hands.
Yeah. He's striking guys, man. It's like he's striking guys. You can see it on some plays where he just strikes guys and they just give up.
Yeah, it's real impressive the way that he pulls. Okay, so this was his junior season. Okay. So he's going into his senior year. He definitely should be getting something. I mean, like if he doesn't have offers, he should be getting some for sure. I mean, he's legit. These are the two kids that I had. I believe one of them said they were with you. Is this kid? This kid contacted me. Brillin Hill, is he with you?
Yep. So Brillin Hill, he came in town to train with us last week from Alabama.
Yes, he's an Alabama kid. I think both the kids I had were Alabama kids. He's a sophomore.
Yep. So his dad Trent contacted us. I think we were on a Twitter space or X space.
Oh, good. Okay.
You know, but we began to talk, man. And he actually came and showed up. He's a good player, man. He's explosive, man. Definitely.
So you did have a chance to work with him.
Yeah. But he came in town for 2 days.
Yep.
we worked on Saturday and Sunday, and shout out to him, man. I mean, he, came out, put his best foot forward, jumped right in. He fit in with the guys. He wasn't intimidated. He came out there and did his thing, man.
Just blocked the punt.
Yeah. I hope he's able to come back more, man. I love working with him.
Yeah,
Just a great kid.
I mean, he definitely he's got to get on the road with you guys.
Right. For sure. I was telling his dad about that, man. Hopefully we can get them to at least some of the after this tournament this weekend in Pittsburgh. Our next 2 tournaments are in Atlanta. So a lot of kids that don't necessarily want to spend the money and time to go on the road, to drive 12 hours or get on a plane. We got 2 tournaments right in Atlanta the next couple of weeks, man. So hopefully we can get him involved with us. And he's a good player though, for sure.
Is he? I mean, he's doing a great job at defensive end. I mean, is he? Do you see him more as a D end, or do you see him moving inside as a 3 technique?
I believe that his upside will probably be at 3.
Because this is a sophomore film. So that's what I was thinking. Yeah. I was thinking he'll grow into a 3.
Yeah, exactly. But he can play edge he can certainly play edge. But I think, once he can gain some weight, get bigger, get in the weight room, I think he can definitely,
just drove through 3 guys.
I think 3 is his upside, but he's a good defensive end as well.
Yeah,
he kind of reminds me of like a Roman Dickerson. Not sure if you remember Roman Dickerson.
Yep. Yes, absolutely.
But he kind of reminds me of Roman when I watch his film. And Roman he plays defensive end for his school, but he's really a defensive tackle.
God, he fought through 3 guys right there. I mean, he's really look at that.
He can play, man. Right and Alabama's a tough football state.
Absolutely.
Ain't about the slaps in Alabama.
Oh, what a good inside swim. It's just excellent, to have the wherewithal when you're not blocked. I mean, to play the zone read. He plays both. He played the quarterback and the running back.
And when I was a player, Steve, I struggled with that types of shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, coaches have figured it out now a little bit better.
Like I was the type of player, like I had to have an assignment. Like I had to either be, on the dive,
right, or the quarterback.
You know what I mean? Like I struggled to make the right decision.
That was excellent again. I mean, he sat, he waited, and then he came in, he made the play. Right. He's explosive enough that he can play both.
There's a different type of instinct too,
Yes. It's having that football savviness. Jeez, scored a touchdown.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Football savvy. I think that's something that,
What a great job there.
With, man. Yeah.
He got underneath the puller, made the play.
Oh, yeah. He's a football player.
Oh, Jesus. What explosion off the ball.
Yeah. Kid's a football player,
Wow. 65 tackles, 6 sacks as a sophomore.
Yeah.
That is scary.
Yeah, 65 tackles. I mean, if they're playing 10 games, that's over 6 tackles a game. You know what I mean? So,
that's scary.
That's active for a defensive lineman. Most defensive linemen are making 1 or 2 tackles and going home, so 6 tackles a game on average. It's pretty damn good.
All right. This was the last guy who had reached out to me. Mr. Banks Lowery. He is another Alabama kid, a sophomore from Hubbardsville High School in Fayette, Alabama. Mm-hmm. He's an offensive tackle. I can't remember his size, but wanted you to check it out. But yeah, these Alabama kids, man, they're on a. I mean, football's gospel there, just like Georgia.
Yeah, man, Alabama got some tough kids, man. Tough kids, and it's not a lot going on in Alabama, man. So those guys live and die the sport,
I love the tight copy too.
Oh yeah,
I just get. I mean, it's unbelievable to me that these kids are sophomores or young. The 8th grade film. I mean, that looked like probably JV film.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's football it has evolved.
Yes,
And,
it sure has.
And for the guys that take it serious earlier are the guys that end up more successful.
Yes, 100%.
Like you got a lot of guys, they're in 9th grade right now, and they believe they have a lot of time, and they don't.
And you don't. No, it's completely changed.
And you're gonna look up, and you're gonna be a senior with no offers, and you're gonna be blaming everybody else. Or my coach didn't put me out there, or I didn't. My parents wouldn't do this, or But hey, man, you just gotta work.
Good job coming off the ball. Good job with his hands. Good job pulling. I mean, it's just it's so difficult now with the transfer portal, and so many of these kids are not getting an opportunity, or they're having to go to a prep school or a junior college. It's 7 kids, 8 kids get signed as freshmen, maybe 10.
Man, dude, I was talking to a buddy of mine. It
blows my mind.
And he was saying, man, D2 is a new D1. Like, D2 is full of kids that would have been D1 5 years ago.
Absolutely.
Full of them. And that's why a lot of these kids are saying, like, I remember I had one kid was like, man, I want to go D1, but I know I'm going to go D2. And I know you don't. Like D2 wants the same type of players that D1 wants.
There's not much difference. There's not much separation anymore.
Exactly, man. So it's like, man, some of these kids look at D2 as a fall.
Great job with the skip pull. Great job skip pulling there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're 100% right. It's completely changed, and I do hope the NCAA gets some help from Congress with legislation, because they thought they were fixing they thought they were fixing the transfer portal by cutting it to 15 days, and they just made it worse. They just had more kids enter earlier and less kids get signed.
Yeah.
And that's
I don't really see a problem with it, Steve, to be honest. I think just
don't enter the goddamn transfer portal.
Yeah, man. It just forces you to be what you say you're going to be, or to be what you say you are. You know?
I agree.
And if you're not, you're not going to be elite. If you're not putting in the work to be one of the most elite guys around, it's going to show. You're going to go to school. It's going to be other grown men there, and you're not going to play. Because if you're out here bullshitting and you're not putting the work in, and you're not, out here doing what it takes to thrive, or even in college, like if you're not coming home and working out while you're at home and you're out here bullshitting and chasing girls and going to the mall and trying to spend all your NIL money, you're not going to last. You're going to go back to campus, and you're not going to be the player that they brought you there to be. And that's why most of these guys are transferring, man, because
they don't have patience.
Yeah, you got guys that are putting the work in, and it's showing. And they think you were the higher rated guy coming into school, and all of a sudden you're just not working as hard. And the guy, you were the 4-star, and the guy who was a 3-star is taking your job, because he's putting in work and he's producing.
Absolutely. Let me play this last one. Finally, we have James Whitfield of Luther James Insurance. For the last 3 years, James has dedicated himself to the art of financial services. He specializes in life insurance and insurance policies. He will save you money, make you a boatload of money, and do so tax-free. He also specializes in retirement planning, because we know the stress that goes into thinking about retirement. How much am I going to need? For how long? Do we have enough? Because fear of the unknown is real. To contact James, go to www.lutherjamesinsurance.com. Yeah. So we have been seeing that. And what do you think about it as far as, now there's guys in the transfer portal that have not been signed. They're hoping something happens in spring practice where spots open up. And they're also trying to crack down on potential illegal transfers where a kid will withdraw from a school and just get signed by and go to another school and get put on scholarship, which is what happened with the BYU quarterback who ended up at Tulane. It really is getting out of hand. And, 60 transfers are going sometimes, school by school. Iowa State, when Coach Campbell went to Penn State, they were left with 20 scholarship kids. And it just, like, I don't know how you replenish that year after year after year. And, there have been, even Ohio State came out and they were in a deficit with their athletic department because of the revenue sharing agreement, because it's not enough money to pay everyone. And, they're going to be lowering the rosters. There's going to be less walk-on spots. And I think the non-revenue sports are going to end up being cut because of it, because football just generates too much money. But along with that becomes more responsibility for the kids. And if they don't produce, the coaches aren't going to have as much patience, like you said. If you're getting this NIL money and, like you said, you're screwing around, you're not doing what it takes, it's year to year. They're going to change your agreement. You could end up with nothing. It's really the Wild West. And do you think anyone else besides Congress intervention? I know that the illustrious President Trump is having a meeting with the great minds around college football's past and present to try to come up with something. But the NCAA really has limited power now because it's state by state laws with the NIL arrangements. And, they talked about pooling together all their TV money resources instead of conference by conference, just negotiate as one group. The SEC and the Big Ten obviously balked at that because they make the most money off of it. But, do you obviously think some sort of reform needs to take place? And if it does it need to come from Congress?
Not even, man. I feel like, Congress and Trump got better shit to worry about.
That's what I would say, too.
And honestly, I like it. I hated it when it first started, again, because it affects so many guys that we personally work with.
It has a domino effect.
Yep. I would like to see more high school guys go to school, especially to Division I universities. So
absolutely.
There's lots of guys that have D1 talent that are just not going D1 anymore.
Right.
We got a kid, Ahmad Dortch. Ahmad Dortch is still out here. He has D1 talent, but he wouldn't gain the weight. He wouldn't get his body, to look the way it should look to be a Division I football player. So he's not, So, and the thing is I'm telling these young men is you have to take this serious. You have to make it priority. Yeah. You have to understand in the 8th grade, if I want to be a Division I football player, I need to take the weight room serious right now.
My clock starts.
I need to take my craft and learning and going to a trainer 3 times a week. I need to do that, because if I don't, I'm not going to fit the build. And it's football and college football now. It's almost like the streets, man. It's FU pay me, and it's like, the kids are telling the college coaches, FU pay me. I'm a 5-star. I'm a 4-star. I'm worth $800,000. Pay me. Yeah. or I'll go to somebody that will. And
Right.
the college coaches are saying the same shit. It's like, we got $800,000 to pay you if you're good enough. And if you're not good enough, if you will go pay somebody else. You know what I mean? And they're cutting kids. So if kids are not fitting the bills, if a
Yeah.
kid is not as good as advertised coming in, then they're releasing you.
They are.
At the end of the spring. So I mean, and I like it, honestly, man. People have to be what they say they are about. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you're a bullshitter, you're just not going to make it. And I don't think there should be room for people that are BSing. It should not be room for kids that don't take this serious.
It's a
Because you got
business.
so many kids around the country who deserve these opportunities. You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
I mean, and I like it. I mean, it's nowhere to hide now. Like, you can bullshit your way
There
through high
really
school,
isn't. No.
you know, but once you get to college, they're going to smell that shit real fast, and you're not going to be there.
Yeah, you're not going to be on scholarship. You're not going to be getting NIL money for 4 years if you're not producing at some point.
And the thing I do like is, like, what I'm starting to see is they're cracking down now, like lots of schools, like especially like the Georgias, the Alabamas, you know, they're cracking down on how much money they're giving freshmen now. You know,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're kind of making you earn your keep. Like,
yes.
you know, they're like, there's only a small percentage of guys that are going to make $500,000 plus
as a freshman, right?
You know, as a freshman. You know what I mean? So most freshmen are coming in, you know, right at 6 figures or right under 6 figures. You know,
Right.
So and I like it, man. I mean, you have to earn your keep. You have
I
to
agree with that.
You know what you say you are, and it's a worth at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And it's a marriage.
It is. It
You
is
know?
for sure.
You know, you get married to somebody, you get married to a girl. If you're a man, and you get, you know, if you're a woman, you get married to a man. You got to date them. You got to court them. You got to show them that, hey, I want to stay married to you. You know, I'm going to do the things that it takes to, you know, hey, to be married. And the minute you don't, you get a divorce. You know what I mean? And that's how college football is now. You know, hey, when things don't work out, you know, I love you at first when you first get here, you know, and next thing you know, you don't treat me the way I think you should. I don't love you anymore. Let me go find somebody else to love. So, I mean, you know, I love the landscape. So, to the young men that's watching, and especially the parents, you know, you have to take this serious. In Trench Mob, we have parents that take it serious and they get great results. And we have parents that don't take it serious and they don't get so great results out of their children. So, you know, it's just, I like that you're forced to take it serious now, you know?
Yeah. And you have to understand, parents, Trench Mob is an elite top organization. You can't be half pregnant. You're either in or you're out. So if you're not sending your kids to the tournaments, if you're not sending your kids to the workouts, if you're not sending your kids to the college showcase camps, then you are wasting your time. You're wasting Julius's time, Coach Harris's time, and every member of the Trench Mob's time, the kids' time, because they're giving people reps that aren't bought in. So you have to understand, this is an elite organization that prides themselves on developing talent, sending kids to Division I programs, and that is what they do. And their track record is untouchable. It is a proven track record of success. So understand that. All right, Julius. So you guys are heading to Pittsburgh Friday, Saturday?
Yes, sir. We'll take it off Friday morning. So we're looking forward to getting up there, man. We're going to take some visits, man, and get these guys seen and offered and go out here and win this tournament. You know,
how many teams are in the tournament?
I spoke to Byron earlier, who's the host. He along with Aaron Donald, and I believe he's here earlier. They have 14 teams signed up, so should be enough, you know, and that's already signed up. So I mean, hopefully, it's an upward of. I remember there was just 26 teams in California a couple of weeks ago,
right?
So I mean, hopefully we can get above 20, and I figured there was going to be a lot of guys there because of Aaron Donald being there, of course. So. But yeah, I'm ready, man. I mean, you know, looking forward to competing. You know, there's going to be some teams.
bringing up?
We're taking 2 teams.
Oh, good.
Yep, 2 teams, about 30 kids we're taking. You know,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, man, we're just ready to rock and roll, man. I mean, shit, we lost in Cali. You know, we didn't lose, but we came in
You
third
didn't
place.
have your best guys either.
You know, third place is losing to me. You know what I mean? So,
No, I know.
You know, can't ready to get back on the road to go get our bike back. You know, I mean, Hellstar, you know, they beat us in Cali. California Power, they beat us in, well, they're not California Power anymore. They're called Power Elite now, you know. So they beat us in Cali. So I mean, shit, I'm not sleeping until we get at it. You know what I mean? And we end up on the right side of it. So you know, I'm excited for the opportunity, man. Our guys get up here. We're going to Pittsburgh and West Virginia and Duquesne and Robert Morris, and you know, so we can
that's awesome.
get our guys in and hey, man, let's rock and roll. Go ahead and make a name for ourselves.
All right. Well, I hope Coach Mike makes a film of it, so we get to see the highlights of it. I'm excited for you. So
we bringing this one home, Steve. I'm guaranteeing.
All right, I'm holding you to that. I'm holding you to that.
Put this shit on. Yeah, we're guaranteeing this one.
We're gonna put a clip out there of it.
We're guaranteeing this one. Let's get it. You know, I love it all. I love everything that it comes with. I'll stand out there for my guys.
You believe in
my guys that much.
Absolutely, that's all that matters. You believe in your guys.
Yes, sir.
All right, for Julius Williams of the Trench Mob. We wish them well on their trip to Pittsburgh and total domination. I'm Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them right back at life.